For over a century, the 1st of May has stood as a global lighthouse for the rights of those who build our world with their hands and minds. This year marks a monumental milestone as we celebrate the 140th edition of International Labour Day. It is a moment to look back at the long road traveled since the late 1800s, when the dream of an 8-hour workday was just beginning to take root. Today, the conversation has evolved from basic survival to a much more sophisticated vision for the future. In Cameroon, the Ministry of Labour and Social Security has set a clear path forward with this year's powerful theme: social dialogue and decent work, factors of peace, national cohesion, and economic development of the company. This theme reminds us that while the history of labor is long, our mission to improve the lives of workers is more active and urgent than ever. To truly honor this anniversary, we must first unpack the core of the message, the promise of decent work. This phrase is far more than a corporate buzzword. It is a fundamental human right that defines the quality of our lives. Decent work exists where the environment is safe, where the pay reflects the true value of the effort, and where social protection is a reality rather than a dream. It is about creating a workspace where an individual can thrive without sacrificing their health or their self-respect. When we prioritize decent work, we are essentially saying that the person behind the desk or the machine is the most valuable asset in the room. By upholding these standards, we ensure that the labor movement's legacy continues to protect the vulnerable while empowering the ambitious. When a society commits to these standards of decency, it unlocks a powerful engine for economic growth. There is an old mistaken belief that business success must come at the expense of the worker. But modern economics tells us a different story. In reality, the economic development of the company is directly tied to the happiness and security of its staff. A worker who is treated with dignity is naturally more invested in the company's goals, leading to higher creativity and fewer errors. When businesses provide decent work, they reduce costly staff turnover and build a culture of excellence that attracts top talent. Consequently, a thriving company becomes a pillar for the national economy, proving that social responsibility is actually the most profitable business strategy a leader can adopt. However, even the most successful company cannot survive in a vacuum of chaos. Nor can it thrive if its internal culture is poisoned by hostility. True economic progress requires a foundation of stability, which is often threatened when the workplace becomes toxic due to the unfriendly nature of its people. When colleagues are rude to one another, when gossip replaces productive sharing, or when office politics create a climate of fear, the spirit of the worker is crushed and productivity halts. This is why progress can only be achieved through the practice of social dialogue. This is the art of meaningful conversation between those who lead and those who execute, serving as an antidote to a negative environment. By fostering a culture where every voice can be heard and where respect is the standard, we replace confrontation and pettiness with genuine cooperation. This dialogue acts as the glue that holds the professional world together, preventing the misunderstandings and internal friction that leads to strikes or civil unrest. It is through this mutual respect that we build national cohesion, ensuring that our diverse workforce moves in a single peaceful direction. Ultimately, peace is not merely the absence of conflict, it is the presence of justice and communication in the workplace. When we combine the historical weight of 140 years of labor rights with the modern tools of social dialogue, we create a society where everyone can prosper. As we celebrate this International Labour Day, let us remember that every conversation held at the conference table and every fair wage paid in a brick in the wall of a more peaceful and developed nation. By committing to this theme, we ensure that the next century of labor is defined by growth, unity, and the unwavering respect for the human spirit.